I know you saw the playlist.
Yes, I have it up.
Yeah. Okay. So, are you able to share your screen?
Yes, give me 1 second. I'll do that
Yep.
right
Okay.
now.
You know,
Okay, give me this. There. It's not giving me the option to optimize. Can everybody see my screen?
I guess it's sounds good.
All right.
So, okay. So good evening, everyone. Kennedy and whomever else. Thanks for coming on. As Scott said, on a nice spring night. Probably have about 40 minutes here. So we got a number of plays picked out that are primarily deep wing plays, not exclusively, but primarily. And in each situation, we'll talk about some mechanics. As always, it will primarily be geared towards mechanics. And please keep in mind that some of these plays have 7 or even 8 officials. That's not really important. What is important is the mechanics. So the first play we're going to look at here, it's a 7-man game, but in particular, the field judge. I want to point this out. Um, the situation in this game, as you can see on the screen that Kenny pulled up, is the team in white is losing by 3 points. There's 5.2 seconds left to go, and they decide to forego a potential tying field goal and try to win the game. So first things first, although the ball's on the 30-yard line, the first thing we want to make a note of mentally is that the team has to score a touchdown. In 5.2 seconds, they're going to throw the ball into the end zone or close there and hope a guy can catch it and run it in. So the first thing that I like here is the field judge who will be at the bottom of the screen. He correctly positions himself at the goal line pylon at the snap. That way he's still, he doesn't have to move. And as you'll notice also, he's very wide at the goal line. Remember our axiom, distance is our friend. So Kennedy, if you can, and there's a lot going on in this play up front, but primarily we're gearing this again, obviously towards our deep officials, and in this case, the field judge. Of course, if the side judge would be the same thing if he or she were on this side of the field. But up top, you can't see it well, but the opposite deep wing is also on the goal line pylon extended. Again, 5.2 seconds. The team's going to make or break. They're going to win or lose the game on this play is what it comes down to. So that's the backstory. So Kennedy, go ahead, please. If you can. All right, just take a look, folks. There's our field judge. He's nice and wide. He does come into the pylon to single touchdown. That's okay. You don't need to do that, but if you do, it's okay. You certainly want to stay off the field. But the guy reacts very well. The quarterback throws a great laser, a dart, and the kid makes kind of a catch on his knees, almost like he's kneeling about maybe 3 yards in. Again, picture being at the pylon here. You might be a little too close as the play develops, but love this guy's positioning, and he takes his time, signals touchdown, understanding the magnitude of this play. Again, the game is going to be won or lost on this play. So it's a nice pass. The guy's right there. He lets the play happen, lets everything settle down, and then gives a solid touchdown signal. Now, not to get sidewinded, those of you who come to the clinic this year at Raritan, we're going to show this play in its entirety, which includes, among other things, a really kind of a very iffy offensive holding call and a horrible, horrible announcement by the referee on this play with the offensive hold. Again, without getting into specifics, he announces the game is over. Uh, Nobody comes to his rescue saying there has to be an untimed down because of the offensive hold. time does expire on the play. This is the thing that this play is good because of what the field judge does, and that's about it, frankly. But that's the rest of that story is really for a different day when we get to Raritan High School. I want to make sure I don't say Cyril anymore, but Raritan High School. So, Kenny, can you just run it one more time from start to finish and get everybody again? Look at the field judge's position, his timing. There's no rushing. There's absolutely no hurrying. If you can do that one more time, Kenny, then we'll go to the next play. Nice. Okay. All right. Next play, Kennedy. If you want that, please don't hesitate. You got a comment or question or thought or whatever, please don't hesitate. We'll try to get to those as well. Kennedy is a really good co-pilot here, and I appreciate that. So
Do you have this? Can you see the second play?
I think this looks like is this the same play, Kennedy, or not?
No. Did I go to the next one?
I don't because the ball's still on the plus 30 on the right hash. It looks as though it's the same
Oh, hold on.
play,
Sorry.
but I can't swear that. That's all right. No worries. It's all good. I'm literally 60 seconds from pulling into my driveway, so probably be a little better for me to go to the
Yeah, okay. I think
uh
it was just a different angle. Okay, so this is one. This is two. It's just a different
yeah,
angle.
that's okay.
All right, so we'll go to the next one.
All right, so I'll get up. Sounds good.
This is the next one. Do you want me to play the sound for this one?
Yeah, you can do that. This is folks, this is really not a play, but this is what I'm trying to do here from a teaching perspective. We often talk about officiating when not and again, I'm not sure it might be better served when we get to Raritan, but this is a post game, the national championship game back in January in college football was down in Atlanta, and this player was a player at Notre Dame. They lost, but after the game, he was asked, about his career, and I think it's important for officials to realize just what the game means to so many people. And so, Kenny, if you want to run the video, this is a post game press conference. I think it takes about 65 seconds. And again, please pay attention to the sincerity and the genuineness of this player's voice and just the way he feels about the game of football. And he's going to miss it. It's a great thing, I think, a great little teaching thing for all officials. Go ahead, Kennedy.
This year coming back and feeling a chip on my shoulder and amazing guys like Breakout running something. It's kind of the journey. And that push for even this program said is building the best, absolute best.
Jim, did you want me to play it again?
Maybe it was just me. Can you hear that? Can you folks hear that?
No sound to it, guys.
There was no sound?
Nope.
Huh.
No sound, guys.
I turned the sound up for you guys. What the heck? I don't know. You want me to try
Yeah,
also?
it was real soft and gargly.
Let me try it again. They didn't give me the optimize option. Oh, they didn't give me the
Okay, well,
optimize
why don't
option.
we do this then? Go to the next video play, and as you're doing that, I'm going to transition to my desktop, which I think will turn out to be a little bit easier and whatnot. But
Okay, here we go. There we go. Sorry, guys. I don't know if it's because of the optimize thing, but I texted Steve. It didn't give him that option either. All right, I'm gonna play this play.
Okay, yep. And
Jim, we can't hear you. Or I can't hear you.
Yeah, you can't hear him.
Hey, Jim. Jim, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, but I can see him talking, but we can't hear him
All right,
talk.
I'm gonna call him.
yeah, well, I thought I did that, but are we good?
Okay, we can hear you now.
Okay, thanks, folks. Sorry about that. So this is an unusual play, but it has a lot to do. This is why I thought it would be good. The new rule this year in high school, if you haven't seen it, probably the biggest federation rule change this year is if an offensive team player fumbles the ball and it goes forward and out of bounds, it comes back to the spot where he fumbles it, which is a beanbag is going to be imperative. Now, most of the time, a play like that might involve a short wing, but certainly a pass and then a run or a long run could certainly involve a deep wing official. So try to visualize, try to interpolate that new rule into this play. Now, it's a little bit of a backstory to it because it's fourth down and one, and this is again a college game, and we're not going to go down that road with the rule, but I want you to pay attention. It's fourth and one, and when the guy fumbles the ball, he's behind the line of scrimmage, and it's recovered by an offensive lineman. And then I want you to think to yourselves, is this still a touchdown in high school this year, or would the ball go back to where the runner fumbled it, which is behind the line of scrimmage, and would the ball get turned over to the defense? It's fourth and one at about the 3 going in. So go ahead, Kennedy, please run it. Okay, so what happened there, you see number 72 is in the end zone with the ball. Okay, and again, my question to each of you, we have a new rule here in high school football. A forward fumble out of bounds is brought back to the spot where the runner fumbled. That doesn't matter if it's first, second, third, or fourth down. So on this play, and you can put the answer in the chat room if somebody wants to do that, would this be a touchdown in high school in 2025, or would the ball be returned to about the 4 yard line, 3 yard line, which is where the running back fumbled it? All right, so Kelvin Williams is saying here touchdown. Anybody agree with that? Disagree with that? What do we got this year in high school? Anybody else? Well, Mr. Williams, you are first and you are correct. This is still a touchdown in high school. Now, what I want you to do is take the same concept, same play, assume that the ball was run near the pylon, fumbled forward, and goes out of bounds. Let's say he fumbled it at the 4 and went out of bounds at the 1. What yard line does the ball get returned to? Chat room, anyone? What yard line would the ball get returned to? All right, 4 yard, Bob Connolly, absolutely right. 4 yard line. Now, if the guy would fumble the ball forward and into the end zone and out of bounds, like it's always been, it still remains a touchback. So this is not a hard rule change, but I wanted to show you this video to kind of just plant the seed in your mind. It's going to be a new rule in high school, and it will somewhat mimic collegiate and NFL rules, but not entirely, as was pointed out by Kelvin Williams, because on this play in high school, we still have a touchdown. But if the fumble would have rolled out of bounds, then it's going to go back to the 4 yard line. And if the guy didn't make the first down, then the defense would get the ball 1st and 10. So please, all deep wings, put this on your radar, put this on your, if this occurs, how we're going to handle it. Again, mechanically, we got to have a beanbag. Not necessarily us. It's possible, but not necessarily us. But we got to have a beanbag, somebody probably from the short wing. And that very well might be the spot where the ball is returned to. And again, the rule states clearly if it's fumbled 40 forward and out of bounds. And if you're a side judge, put this in your head. If this happens in high school where the ball is fumbled forward and out of bounds, when we bring it back to the spot where the ball was fumbled, the game clock will start on the ready for play. The game clock will start on the, in other words, you're not going to get the benefit if you're the offense of fumbling the ball forward and out of bounds. Uh, if the ball is fumbled backwards and goes out of bounds, then the offensive team gets it at the spot where it went out of bounds. And the whole intent of the rule is you can no longer gain yardage by forwarding the ball fumble and it going out of bounds. Does anybody have any other thoughts, comments, or questions about this? And again, that's probably the biggest rule change in 2025 in the Federation. Okay, if not, Kennedy, we'll go to the next play. All right. Now, this is a play I want you to watch. The deep wings here. Stop right here. All right. Pick up the deep wing. Look at his position, how far off the goal line pylon he is. And that's where you want to be. I'll repeat it again, folks. You've heard me say this now, probably ad infinitum. Distance is always your friend. You don't want to be on the pylon here. You're too close to the action. If you're where the up top where the official is, Kenny, I don't know if you can use the mouse or maybe I can, all right, to point out. All right, that's how wide we want to be. Thank you, Kenny. Okay, please do not be on top of the pylon. And notice behind this field judge or side judge, look at the goal line thing, that orange thing. Look how far off the field it is. We continue to see video in NJSIA games in which that G thing is way too close to the goal line, and the official himself or herself lines up too close to the pylon. This is ideal positioning. And it's something we just have to get more and more and more better. It's an easy fix. You just got to back up. And when you're there, you tell yourself, I'm going to stay still. Stay still. Don't move, just observe. We observe more accurately and more when we are still. Okay, so, all right, you can run the play, Kennedy. You got it?
Sorry, it's giving me a hard time. Let me
That's
go
all
to,
right.
all right, let me go back
It's,
now.
it's okay. If you
There we
have to, we'll
go.
go to the, okay. There you go. Yeah. Okay, and this is a good play again. Look at the same play, but look at the deep wing as the guy runs the ball too close to the line to gain. It looks like he's about a yard short. Look at the deep wing. He has not moved at all until the play is over, and then he's going to close it down. And that's what we want. We don't have to be sprinting, running, or anything. There's sometimes you just hold your ground, you hold your water, you observe, and then he's going to come in, look back to the short wing. All right, we got a 4th down and 1 coming, whatever the situation is going to be. Okay. It looks like we're in cruise control there, which is something we always want to strive for optically. Okay, Kennedy, next play. Now stop it here. Yeah, so this is one of the best plays we're ever going to see. It involves a field judge, but it could easily be a side judge. And the ball's on the -42. This kid's it's a zone replay, and the kid's going to bust it for what looks to be a 58-yard touchdown. There's going to be 2 views of this, folks. I want you to watch the field judge who's at the bottom of the screen. I want you to watch, number 1, his reaction. Number 2, his hustle. And most importantly, his mechanics at the goal line. This is a highly unusual play, but it illustrates outstanding officiating and tremendous mechanics on the whole. So, all right, Kennedy. Now stop it here. Now, if you're look at the deep wing up top, he's now to 25, and he realizes this kid is very possibly going to the house. At the bottom of the screen, you can't right now see the field judge. He's already on his horse. Remember, one of our axioms is think every play is going to the house. Think every play is going to the house. So this kid's going to bust this thing, and I want you to, really zone in about the 7 yard line. What happens? Okay, Kennedy. Okay. And this is the best angle. Kenny, when he gets to the mesh point, please try to stop it. Okay. And right now, please stop it. Okay. Now, the fact that I can't see the field judge right now is actually very good. As Kennedy in a minute, she's going to slow motion this thing. The field judge is already at the goal line. He's very wide. This is fantastic officiating. It looks like the 7 or 8. This defensive kid in white is going to punch the ball out. You'll see a beanbag come in from the field judge. And think of the new rule. Is this a forward fumble out of bounds? Is it a forward fumble out of bounds into the end zone? Or is the ball fumbled out of bounds and goes out of bounds at the 1 yard line? So, Kennedy, play this and then we'll look at this angle one more time. Go ahead.
You want me to do it in slow motion?
If you can.
Okay.
Wow. Now, let's break this sucker down. All right. How many of you see clearly and stop it here? The only thing we want to correct the field judge on here, and I was at this game personally, is that we want to give the timeout signal first. Please remember, we should always precede a touchback signal with a timeout signal. But this play is so well officiated beyond that. Great positioning, great beanbag, and you can all see the ball ends up going forward and hitting the pylon. So that means by rule, the ball is out of bounds where? Is it in the field of play? Is it in the end zone?
End zone.
Donald, that's exactly right. So what is the result of this play?
Should be a touchback.
It is a touchback. And you see the official again. We want to give the timeout signal. But let's take this back to high school.
So you got to give a timeout after that, you're saying?
No, we want to signal timeout first and then the touchback signal. Okay, good question. Always precede a touchback signal with a timeout signal. It gives you an extra second or two to process things. So let's take this play, 2025 high school. Let's assume the ball's fumbled at the 7 and the ball hits the pylon. We know this year that's still forever a touchback. The ball's fumbled at the 7, it rolls out of bounds at the 1 yard line. What mechanic should the field judge beanbag the fumble? Yes or no?
I would say yes. At the 7.
Absolutely yes. Okay, anybody can chime in or chat room. Secondly, if the ball rolls out of bounds at the 1 yard line, who gets possession of the ball for the next play? Team A, Brian Gray, you're absolutely right. It belongs to the offense. Right. What will be the down and distance?
First and goal.
First and goal. And lastly, when will the game clock start based on the new 2025 high school rule?
You said before on the ready.
On the ready for play. Exactly right. So think about processing all of that right here on this play. And once again, the thing that sells this is the positioning of the field judge. Tremendous hustle, tremendous reaction. The beanbag, obviously, the ball is clearly fumbled. And think of football as it is truly a game of inches. If the ball rolls out of bounds at the half-yard line, it goes back to the 7, first down and goal, offense. If it touches the pylon as it did, touchback. And this is why positioning mechanics are absolutely crucial. Now, we're not short wings here, but I also want to commend the short wing for hustling down there and just kind of, it's not his calling, but he's certainly in the picture and he might be able to offer something. You see, there are defensive players. They're all pointing, hey, the ball hit the pylon. Yes, it did. And this play was correctly ruled a touchback. But again, think of the new 2025 rule change. Okay. If it went out of bounds at the 1, we go back to the spot of the beanbag, 7 yard line, first and goal, and wind the game clock on the referees ready for play whistle. Comments or questions, folks? Anyone? Chat box. I hope we all appreciate what a phenomenal job this official did. That's a very difficult play. I mean, it's pretty easy on a Tuesday night in May, but when you're there live, it's all that more difficult than this. But very, very well done and a great, great learning play. Okay, Kennedy? This play here, just to set up for you, you see a team trying a field goal. Now, we would have in NJFOA, we would have the field judge and side judge underneath the goalpost. This play is crazy because what's going to happen here is you're going to see the ball, the field goal is blocked, but it rolls downfield. And you're going to see a kid in white, the receiving team, pick the ball up at about the 2-yard line. And incredibly, he runs it backwards into his own end zone. So let me preface the video, but what if he picks it up at the 2 and he runs it backwards into his own end zone? Is this, and if he gets tackled there, what is the result of that play?
If he went into his own end zone, it should be a safety.
Exactly right. That's what this kid does, but at the last minute, you'll see he kind of dives out to the 1-yard line to avoid a safety. And you talk about a crazy, unusual, once in a season, maybe once in a career type play. This would qualify. Kennedy, you run the video and watch the field judge come up from under the goalpost. All right, the ball's blocked. Somehow it ends up now. Okay, look at this kid. He picks it up and he starts running in the end zone. Look at this. And now, oh boy, and you'll see the field judge had the presence of mind. This is great awareness, what I call situational awareness, to come to the goal line. Okay, stop it here, and you'll see he just gets out. But look at if he doesn't do that, we have to understand in a 6 or 7-man game, it doesn't matter. The short wings are not going to get to the goal line on a play like this. They're not going to get there. They're going to hold the line of scrimmage. The ball's blocked. It rolls downfield, etc. They're not going to get there. So, and this is the field judge, but in our game, it could be the side judge on the other upright. Somebody has to have the presence of mind to come up to the goal line, because if this kid picks it up at the 2 and without momentum, he runs it in himself. There's no momentum here whatsoever. If he doesn't get it out, as I think Jim Cassidy said, this would be a safety. Fortunately for the kid, I guess, it is. So we want to kill the clock and give a point, meaning first down and 10 for team R at the -1 going out 99 yards. Kenny, why don't you run it over again? One of the weirdest plays you're ever going to see. I have no idea to this day how the ball got kind of squirted out of there and downfield, but it did. Football's a funny game. Ball takes funny bounces. Now, if we peel back the onion a little bit more, Kennedy, when the kid picks it up, stop it right before that, like right now, right here. Suppose, folks, the receiving team leaves the ball alone. They don't touch it. This kid doesn't pick it up. And the ball rolls dead at the 5-yard line. Where does the receiving team get possession of the ball? Anybody, chat box or audio?
Where the ball lays dead.
Correct. Right. In other words, if it rolls dead at the 5, it's going to be first and 10 at the -5 for the receiving team. If the ball goes in the end zone, still a kick. Now what do we have? What do we got, folks? Brian Gray, 2 for 2, Brian. That's a touchback if that's what would have happened. Okay, so just think these scenarios through. Again, a highly unusual play. I learned a long time ago, whenever they kick the ball, a lot of times bad things happen for the good guys in the stripes. But that would be exactly what we have. If it rolls in the end zone, it's a touchback. If it rolls dead at the 5, in high school, the receiving team gets the ball at the 5-yard line. It's just like a punt that rolls dead. Any other comments, chat box on this play? Okay, Kennedy?
All right, this play here, I'm going to set up for you. The team is on their own 1 yard line, and this play, I want you to watch the field judge who is about the 23 at the bottom of the screen. And the precursor to this is we don't ever want to do this, ever. And this is because we're in too much of a hurry. We're not taking our time. We're not letting the game come to us. We're not holding our water. Watch the field judge, and you'll see the line judge at the bottom of the screen as well. This is a horrifically poorly officiated play. Kennedy? No. All of a sudden, the runner pops out. Watch this. Stop it right here. Oh boy. The field judge, why are you crashing? There's nothing for you to do. Why are you coming in like that is beyond me. You see the line judge, he's equally screwed up here. But look right now, look at the field judge. Okay? He has no idea where the runner is. He has no idea if somebody's home, whatever it is. He is running for his life. And if he'd have stayed put, everything would be in front of him. What does this teach us? For the upteenth millionth time, take our time. There is no need to hurry. There's no need to rush. The great coach Bill Belichick, who some of you heard got engaged today to that 25-year-old girl, always said, do your job. That's all you got to do. Do your job. I have no idea what this guy is doing. I have no idea why he's doing what he's doing. And other than, well, I want to get in, there's no reason to do anything. Wait until somebody blows the whistle. Wait until the play shuts down. Take your time. And then if you want to accordion and close the play in, so be it. But there's absolutely, look at this optic. Look at this optic. We're going to do a segment at Raritan called Good and Bad Optics. And I can assure you, I mean, you're all this is about as bad of an optic as a deep wing can have. Not to prolong, this was a college playoff game in Georgia that I was asked to grade and evaluate the crew to see if they were going to go on. It probably is not needed to mention that they did not go on. This play alone is just, you can't butcher a play worse than this. Well, I guess you could, but we don't want to. Okay, Kennedy. All right, so what we have here is a punt formation. Team's punting from the plus 48. So in our 6-man NJFOA mechanic, let's remember if the ball's on the plus 45 or inside, what yard line did the field judge and side judge line up at? Which our mechanic calls it, or our manuals. Anybody know? I know it's May, but I'm sure a few folks know. The goal line, Michael, I'm not going to try to pronounce your name, Michael. I'm going to say Michael T. That's correct. If the ball's at now the ball's at the 48. If it's a windy day, whatever, be on the goal line. Be either on the 5-yard line or the goal line. No in between. So let's watch this play here. Again, when they kick the ball, strange things tend to happen to officials. Oh boy. Wow. Okay. So what happened here, thank God we're downfield. We see a bad snap. The punter doesn't handle it well. And then with the ball rolling on the ground, you'll see Kennedy try to stop it right when you know when. Right there. Okay. The punter kicks the ball while it's rolling on the ground. Now, although we're downfield around the goal line, 5-yard line, like we said, my first question to you is, does this result, is that a foul to do that? Just, a Y or an A, yes or no, or a Y or an N will suffice, or somebody getting on and saying yay or nay. Is this a foul? Kelvin, we're going to go back to it, okay? It is a foul, okay? You can never legally kick a loose ball rolling on the ground. So this, what the player in white does here, is an illegal kicking foul. Now, I realize we're way downfield, but nonetheless, we can't officiate the game in a vacuum. We might not have even seen what happened, but if you're maybe someday you're not working deep, you're working short wing, you see this. Okay. The first thing is it is a foul. My second question to you all is, does the ball become dead? Again, a Y or an N is what we're looking for from someone. Does this make the ball become dead? This illegal kicking of the ball. Michael T. and Charles Bauer, both of you are correct. The ball remains alive, which means anybody can pick it up, run with it, whatever it is. And now we should have a flag at about the -42 for the illegal kicking of the ball by the punter, which is not permitted again because the ball is rolling on the ground. Uh, you see, I'll ask you that there's some plays that I'm showing you tonight that they might not happen a lot, but my gosh, they happen. I mean, none of this is fake. This is all real from 2024. Okay, live ball. Difference between this and a drop kick. Kelvin, great question. The difference is a drop kick is intentionally dropping the ball when you have possession and kicking it just as or just after it hits the ground and begins to come up. Okay, a flag came in, it looks like. Jim Cassidy, you're right. A flag was called, and it's not, the enforcement was wrong. This is a spot foul, and we ended up simply declining the foul and giving the receivers the ball on the 49-yard line. This is a spot foul. Should have gone from the 42 back to the 32. Okay, if the receiving team accepts the foul. If they decline it, then they would take possession on the 49 where the guy recovered it. Kennedy, you can show the rest of the play here, please. Okay, so now if you're the deep wing and you're coming up the field and the coach is looking at you, it's easy. Coach, do you want the ball on their 49-yard line? And every coach in the history of the world will say yes. And then, boom, the foul's declined. First down, the result of the play. Team R recovers at the +49 going in 1st and 10. Show it one more time just so everybody sees this foul again. Right? Now, right, okay? You can't do that. You can't kick the ball when it's rolling on the ground. Okay? I'm venturing of the people on our call tonight, 28 of you, probably more than 400 years of experience. I'm guessing maybe 3 or 4 of us have ever seen a play like this in person. Okay, Kennedy, next play. We probably got time for 2 more plays, maybe only one because I want to do a wrap up with you folks. But next play, Kennedy.
Jim, we have a question. No foul on B for a rough hit on the punter, correct?
Bob Connolly, let's just say that you are 100% correct. First of all, it is not a legal kick. So it, by rule, cannot be roughing the kicker because roughing the kicker occurs on a legal kick. Now, could you have a personal foul or face mask? Yes, but not on this play, Bob. So thanks. That's good insights on your part, Bob Connolly, to everyone. Yep, good. Okay, and that's just the next play then. Go to the next play, Kennedy, in our sequence here.
This is it, Jim. You want me to play it out?
Yeah, okay. So this is the next play after the receivers recovered at the +49. This is the very next play. Okay. Yep. Now, our deep wing does a nice job keeping his cushion. And I like the fact, if you take a look up here, what I want you to do, I'm talking about the deep wing up top who positions himself initially at about the 26-yard line, 25-yard line. Stop it right there, Kennedy. And that's fine, folks. Look, we're 24, 25 yards downfield. That's fine. You don't have to be 17 and then risk getting beat a lot. 22, 23, 25 is fine. And that's in our 6-man manual as well. And you can't see it, on the bottom of the screen, you can't see that. However, my point to you all is this. That's where the deep wing on the opposite side. Be equal distant from up top, and that looks very good, very symmetrical. Now, what I'd like you to do is the quarterback drops and this guy's key comes at him. He gets back, but when the ball hits the ground, he comes to a stop and gives a nice wipe and complete pass signal. He's not moving. He's not jumping up in the air. He's in cruise control, which is exactly the optic we always want to strive for. Go ahead, Kennedy. Watch it come to a stop. Nice. Wipe, signal, and be still. All right. So we only have about 4 minutes left in this group session. So what I would like to do, a little bit different tonight, a little different direction. If 1, 2, 5, 28 of you could type in the chat box something that you picked up from tonight. Learned that you can't kick a loose ball. I mean, I don't know, the forward fumble out of bounds rule in high school. Something, if you could type in there, and then maybe we'll comment on the last 2 minutes or whatever remaining time we have before we go back into the big group. Okay. Eugene Ferguson wrote, okay. All right, great guys. Yeah, this is outstanding. Wow. Okay. Maybe I should have said. So look at some of the comments here that everybody can see, and maybe we can curtail those at this time. But look at this. Okay. Uh, Staying still and keeping distance. New fumble rule. New high school rule: fumble out of bounds. Forward fumble in high school. Okay. 25-yard cushion is okay. Uh, New fumble rule. I learned the forward football. Okay. Always be ahead of the play. Officials on the field being in position. And everybody that chimed in here, every one of these comments is germane, and every one of them, deeper the better. Probably could go on and on. I hope that this has been somewhat of a learning experience. I found that time flies in these things, but I really appreciate the fact that people would participate. In my opinion, that kind of makes the whole thing better. So if every one of you pick up just one thing from tonight, and many of these comments, again, would be very, very appropriate to pick up. Okay, then I think we've all would consider this spring night productive and a good thing to do. Um, if anybody has any remaining questions or chat box, we're now under 2 minutes to go. Again, I know time flies on these things, but as always, it's really a pleasure for me to talk football uh, in the spring or the winter, whenever it might be. Here's a question: how come the ball carrier can touch the pylon while in possession of the ball if it's a TD, but if they fumble, hits upon it's a touchback? Well, Bob, first of all, good question. Second of all, let's remember it's the position of the ball. If the ball touches the pylon in a runner's possession, it's a touchdown. If the ball's at the one and the guy's foot hits the pylon, the ball goes out of bounds at the one. Okay. And relative to why is it a touchback? It's been that rule forever. Some people talk about, well, why doesn't the defense just get it where he fumbled it? As of now, no rules code has done that, and certainly not high school, certainly not federation. Maybe that'll come down the road, Bob. Your question might be a harbinger of things to come down the road, but I don't know that. But at any rate, um, it's not as of yet. Good question. I'm not sure there's a good answer other than that's the way it's always been. So, um, again, we're inside of a minute now. I can't thank you all enough for joining in on this Tuesday night in the spring. I hope that we'll see a lot of you folks on August 2nd at Raritan High School for our fourth annual clinic. As Scott Campbell mentioned, registration open today. We think it's going to be our best one yet. And again, if it works out that you're there, I would like the opportunity to meet people, say hello and shake their hand and look them in the eye in person. I like doing that. So if that's the case, please, all good. So the cost, Donald, will come, I think it's $60, and that includes your breakfast, your lunch, and the giveaway item and the instruction. So that's what the cost is. So, okay, I think we're going to be taken out of here like in 3 seconds, whatever it is. Once again, 2 words. Thank you. Please click leave breakout